This week, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek urged the legislature to commit $155 million to deal with the #1 problem in the state, homelessness. That's some $25 million more than her initial homeless proposal at the end of January. The governor's proposal includes $85 million for housing 1,200 households, expanding shelter capacity by 600 beds, $33 million for homelessness prevention, and about $200,000 for long-term rental assistance. Here to discuss the legislative package being considered this session, the legislative housing chairs from both houses of the Oregon legislature. On the Senate side, Senator Casey Jama, a Democrat from Portland, and in the House, Democrat Representative Maxine Dexter, also from Portland. Senator Jama and Representative Dexter, welcome to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
You both issued a joint statement in late February of a $200 million package to address homelessness. Are there any significant differences from what the governor is asking for?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. I think your question is an important one. I think, as you know, we're facing housing crisis, and this issue requires a sense of urgency and quick response from all of us, including legislators. For the last couple of months, number of legislators, both Republican and Democrats, has been meeting and trying to answer and respond to the Oregonian needs for urgent action. This issue, as you know, it's not a Republican or Democratic issue. It's an Oregon issue, and it needs Oregon solutions. And that's why we've been working together for the last 2 months to address this issue that addresses eviction issues, as well as increasing housing production, making sure that we respond to our people who are on the streets, and ensuring that we have accountability. And that's what this proposal is all about.
Representative Dexter, your $200 million versus the governor's $155 million ask. What accounts for the difference?
Thank you, Ken. Yes, this is a yes and. We funded the ask of Governor Kotek fully, her $130 million ask, and then we added onto it with policies that will address the whole spectrum of the crisis that we see, from unsheltered homelessness to unaffordable housing across the state.
We had Governor Kotek on Eye on Northwest Politics last week, and here's what she had to say about the urgency of solving the homeless crisis.
We need more housing. So when my budget was released, there are significant investments, not only to address the immediate issues of our homeless neighbors, but also make sure we can get on a path for more construction. And it's not just going to be about the money. It's about changing how we do business, making sure that we can work together, community to community, to get more housing out there.
And that leads to the question of accountability. How will this money be allocated, and who's going to oversee that it's spent in a way that actually solves this problem?
Well, let me start first for saying that accountability is important, but also Oregonians are compassionate people. They want this issue to be addressed in a compassionate way. Some of the money definitely will go to the counties, and $25 million will be going to the addressing homelessness youth issues, thanks to the work that Representative Reynolds and rest of some of the other additional money will be going to the housing production. And that's really what we're trying to do, is really meet the needs right now and then do more work later as the session progresses.
Representative Dexter, what do you say about the issue of accountability? That it seems to be a real issue. The money seems to be there, but we want to make sure that it gets to the people who it will actually help.
1000%. And I have zero doubt that our governor is not attuned to this. She has made this a priority for agency accountability since day one, and the legislature stands ready to partner with her in that. The $130 million will be distributed through emergency response systems that are directly accountable to the governor. And then the other portions of this policy package that we have put together have different agencies and oversight that absolutely are going to be under the governor's very excellent control and management, as well as with close attention by the legislature and ongoing updates to the housing chairs, both Senator Jama and I.
You're both from Portland, so will this package reach the entire state, or is this Portland focused?
No, this package is for the entire state. as Chair Dexter said. And really, I want to emphasize again also, this is needs to addresses the issues of rural area as well as urban area. It's a statewide package and also bipartisan. We worked really hard closely, both with our Republican colleagues in the Senate and the House, as well as our Democratic colleagues. So this is really bipartisan effort. That's why, as I said earlier, this is really Oregon problem and it needs Oregon solutions.
We look at the numbers and, we saw from the last point in time survey that there are some 4,000 unhoused people in Multnomah County alone. Even this plan isn't enough to serve everyone, or is it? What do we do about that?
I will be the first one to say that there is an enormous problem, and this is not going to solve all of it. We do have a point in time count. We know that those underestimate in every part of our state the number of people who actually need assistance, and yet we have to get funds moving and get support on the ground so that we can start building the framework for ongoing support that we will have to make sure we sustain. This is not a point in time that's going to just suddenly go away. We have to make sure that we continue to protect our communities with safe and affordable housing. And that really gets to the 36,000 units per year that Governor Kotek is aiming for us to produce. Without sufficient housing, this is going to be a long-term issue.
What is the timetable for when Oregonians can see tangible results from this?
I think in the tangible terms, of course, this problem is not just emerged today or yesterday. This has been an ongoing issue, and we've been under production for many, many years, decades now. So it requires both short-term strategy and long-term strategy. And short-term strategy is what we said earlier, which is really making sure that people who are now in the streets need to be moved to the shelters and permanent housing. And secondly, we need to have a long-term strategy. And the long-term strategies comes along what I said earlier, increasing housing production, making sure that we meet the governor's 36,000 unit a year building. We are being able building. We need to at least, as statistics said, about 580,000 homes need to be built the next 20 years. And again, that's not going to happen overnight, but it will require all of us working together to make sure that happens.
If I may, Ken, I just want to jump in here too.
We only have 30 seconds, so go right ahead. Yeah.
We are already seeing this. This is not the beginning of the effort. I was touring in Beaverton with Mayor Beatty and have seen some incredible units that are already housing people. And this is happening with shovel-ready land across our state. We just need to build more.
Representative Dexter, Senator Jama, thank you for joining me on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you so much.